I'm Shane.
I'm Bo.
We are your Kentucky Fried Critics.
Avast me hearties.
That's right. We're here to do some naval
Some
stuff.
adventures on the high seas, man.
It's going to be a good one.
My third favorite time period in history.
This was... we shouldn't go too far. We're starting. We've not even said anything. Again, you clicked here. You know what we're doing.
You know what we're doing.
You know what we're doing. But it still just feels right to make announcements before we just start going, right? Like, what about those people? What about those people who only see the movie, not the beer? Or they got here because of the beer, not the movie. You know,
That's right.
there's reasons we should say these things just in case, right?
It's good for the algorithm, too.
Yeah, well, that's good.
It picks up key
words that are being
shit.
said. Yeah, so every now and then you have to say all of it for sure. That's definitely true.
Because what if Master and Commander was trending, right? Like, it came out. We missed the 20-year anniversary.
Do you really think that's a possibility? Or, I mean,
it should.
But do you? I understand should, and I agree with should, and that's part of what we're going to do here today. But do you
justice for Master and Commander?
Do you really think that
the sneaky masterpiece?
Okay, but so yeah, let's give them the full title. It deserves it
does,
because the full title gives way to the legacy of what it could have been, right? And we'll be talking about all this. So it's Master and Commander: The Far Side of the World.
That just sounds fucking epic.
It does. What beer are we doing before me and you get carried away?
Oh, yeah, we're going to get lost. We're doing Great Lakes Brewing Companies. We've had them before.
Oh, yeah. Nosferatu.
Oh, yes. Nosferatu. It's a good episode. We're doing their Commodore Perry IPA. It's got this cool dude with a fucking sword. He looks
he's an officer.
I assume it's supposed to be Commodore Perry.
Yes,
right?
he is.
Yeah.
I looked this up. Is a person.
War of 1812.
Yes, he is a person. Real person. Right time period. That's what works.
Totally perfect. This is 1805.
Well, and what's actually great is that really the time period would be
even more perfect because
we can
of
line
the book.
Right segue. Wow, nice. A segue for us here, right? Yeah. So the book is actually set in like 1812 or 13. Like it's closer to this for sure. To Commodore Perry.
Again, my favorite time period of like naval history.
I
love these kinds of ships.
Yeah, but so Commodore Perry can definitely be our stand-in for Captain Aubrey.
Yes.
Here.
Lucky Jack.
That's right. We can go ahead before we get into all the details of the show. Let's go ahead and tell them, right? Like we've already talked about this. Guys, I know how we normally do a show, and we've tested out the idea of a slightly different format once before. And we also are aware that this is maybe the kind of movie like Gladiator.
Yeah.
Like we just went long on an episode where we were just having fun. And I think you guys like to listen to that. Gladiator, we went long. I don't think we had a lot.
No, it was just we really liked the movie and we wanted to do every fucking scene.
And there's so much minutia.
Yeah,
right?
There's
and
so many like
cool
small
things.
And like historical details.
And there's that for this too. And
Russell Crowe again too.
And I will say
he's good for these.
As we were already hinting at, this is a movie that was great for critics and not great for regular people,
audiences.
Right? And I would say that is almost even the difference between Gladiator and this. I still enjoyed this and I still get it, right? Yeah. But when we watched Gladiator and I saw all the minutia, I was excited to come in and talk to you about scenes and the minutia. I watched this and I was like, I can respect all the stuff they did in the minutia, but I wasn't excited to come in here and like hash into the detail of scene by scene.
A nerd like me,
don't
care. But even I'm over here, like I get it for the purposes of what we're doing.
I was going to say
that would bore the shit out of people.
You still came here, and I was almost afraid to bring it up to you, and you were like, "No, I agree.
No,
I've already
been
thinking about
I understand. I'm a self-aware nerd. I get it.
So obviously, you guys can already understand from what's being said. This was a Bo pick.
Yep, this was mine. Top 10 favorite movies of all time.
And it is a good movie.
It is. That's why I wanted to because it doesn't get enough respect. It's like people forgot it happened.
We almost forgot to actually tell. So since we like we were starting to say there, we decided that in fairness of us knowing that we might bore everybody, and the fact that neither one of us were actually excited to come in and do
Like,
that.
You want me to do 20 minutes on just like 18th century ship life? That's it's not this. I can do a different channel for that.
But yeah, it would be that, right?
Yeah,
but it would slow down what we do
Yeah.
a little bit. So yeah, we decided we were just going to do this a little bit like that Adventures in Wonderland episode,
Yeah,
a
we're
little bit
just-
like the video game episodes.
Yeah.
We're just coming into this. We're just going to
Loose.
talk about the movie, right? We're going to talk. This is another one of those feeler episodes, right?
Yeah.
Like we're feeling out what we might be doing for season 3 because we are, Lord knows, getting close to that.
it.
If we keep doing this at a year mark, we're
Super
2
close,
2 months
2
away.
months,
Yeah.
So like 8 episodes away, something
like that. Yeah. We might even have all the
We might
all
even
of the
be
drinks
we
ready
might
for
even
this.
already be prepped for it.
So we might not even have selection left
Right?
in what's coming
no
before we
choice.
hit
This is
the
what's
end
happening.
of the year. Yeah. So yeah, we are just trying out a few things, and it kind of, again, like we said, just kind of felt like the right one to do.
Yeah.
Because again,
Otherwise,
know,
we'd be here for 4
well,
hours.
we know. Well, we were here for 4 hours for the last.
But that was just 'cause-
Patreon people know they
All right,
got
that
the
was
4
just
hour
because we
cut.
were kind of drunk, and that movie's really fun.
Well, we had college,
And then we started
nostalgia
talking
going
about
on.
going to college and
But that's my point.
two
That
old
was-
men being nostalgic.
But that was fun, right?
It was.
I don't know if we can come in with
No,
that
I don't
for
know.
this. And so
I
yeah,
can make it very informative.
oh yeah, definitely.
And you might walk away with a sense of, I didn't know that.
Well, and so yeah,
If
like
you stick with it.
now that you know that we're changing up everything, let's just start with that.
Mhm.
You can feel that in the movie.
Yes.
And the movie, much like the book, give me a second. I wrote down who it was. Patrick O'Brien. That's the name of the guy who wrote the books. Just so we need to
fine
get some credit here.
Irishman's name.
But the movie and the books were the same in that the people who were making them spent extensive time before ever creating this
Just
researching
yes.
to make sure it was real. Like the books were written with a level of detail that other naval books at the time weren't written
Yeah.
with. This movie, I think I read somewhere it was like 2.5 years research before
I totally believe it.
starting.
I tell people all the time, they're like, what's the most historically accurate
Oh,
movie?
no,
like,
this
hands down,
100%.
it's this one and maybe Alexander, but that's another one where it's like, man, the beginning was great. And then, woos, there's a lot of fucking details happening here I don't really care about.
And so again, like for if you want to see things that are gonna look and feel
like
and
you're
the
there
vibe
in that
is
time
true,
period.
this is definitely it, right?
How did a movie with completely fictional characters, none of these people actually exist,
none of them are real
none of this
people.
actually
is
happened.
based on a
How is
book
it
series.
the most historically accurate movie when we have all these big budget biopic films that are like 80% at best?
I have no idea. And the sad part is that's probably part of why it didn't do as well, right? Like people were like, man,
That's
this level
true.
of they knew coming in it was not real. And so they didn't assume that it was going to have the degree of realness that
I
it did.
guess, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
There's
again,
a fine. There's
I
a
don't know for
fine,
sure. I'm
fine
just throwing
line
out
you
some-
have to walk for historical accuracy and entertainment.
yes. Gladiator. Like we said,
Gladiator
Russell
did a
Crowe knew what he was doing with that one. Ridley
one was-
Scott.
that was-
That
yeah,
was
Ridley
Ridley Scott,
Scott.
right? This is Peter Weir, right? I
Yeah,
think?
Peter Weir.
So
directed
yeah, this is
one.
Peter
Did he
Weir.
write it too?
Let me double
Or not,
check.
not really, like not the book,
Yeah,
but
no.
like the
Yeah.
screenplay.
He wrote with someone else the screenplay to do this. Yeah. So yeah,
He did a great job.
yeah. No, this
Like,
is good. This is great. I'm not trying to knock him down, but Ridley Scott made a more entertaining movie.
Yeah, about the same length too.
Yeah. So again, this movie is great for all kinds of things. It does lose the entertainment in the middle a little
Yeah,
bit.
like Act 2 kind of slows down a lot.
a lot. Act 2 comes to like a screeching halt. So again, this is based on 2 different books, right? So it's based on Master and Commander, and hey, I'm bad at this. What's the name of it, Bo? I always
Far
forget.
Side of the World.
Far Side of the World. I'm bad. I don't know why it's so hard for me to remember Far Side of the World. But yeah, so those are 2 separate books, and they kind of smashed them together to make this one amalgamation,
One
story.
book. So they took like the exploration chase book and the battle book and smashed, well, not even sandwiched them really, because there's
Yeah,
like
no,
the fight
it's-
at the beginning, fight at the end,
And both
all the
parts,
shit in the middle is kind of like just like the chase.
that well, the
stuff.
chase is all the second book. Well,
Going to like the Galapagos Islands and
Yeah.
all that shit.
all of the thing about chasing it around, because again, that's exactly why it's the far side of the world. It's the chase to the far side of the world that they went on, right?
Yeah.
Master and Commander is literally everything that's about the actual fighting,
Nice.
and so that's just
what
it,
I
like,
care about.
like it is a lot harder, I guess, maybe when you're trying to do that. And again, like they knew that they had to
Yeah.
do that to make this work. But yeah, the intention here, which is what's maybe even what held it back a little bit, right?
Yeah.
The intention here, as opposed to like a Gladiator. Gladiator is like, here's a dude's story. Let me tell you the full story.
Yeah, it's like the standard.
We got a
it's the
sequel a
hero's
ton of
journey, right?
we got a sequel a ton of years later, but it wasn't like a planned thing. It was something they came up with later. It's literally like a concocted. Let's not even pretend.
I feel like it was a bit of a cash grab.
It definitely
really.
was.
Like,
We'll
I haven't
deal with
watched it, so I can't really
We'll
judge
deal with
that's
that
how
if
it
and
felt.
when we get there. But again, obviously, like, so it was Ridley Scott was telling an enclosed story,
Yeah.
right? Peter Weir was telling a story that they wanted to be the capstone to a franchise.
Oh, that would have been so cool.
So like that was the intention here. The intention was, let's try to make, and that's why they crammed two together. They
Yeah.
were like, let's try to make the best story to hook people, so
then
we can
do
start
2
telling more
movies.
stories. Huh?
Didn't do 2 movies. You started with the chase, and then you
It was before
you
that.
start the battle.
It was
and
before that
like
era,
Lord of the Rings style.
Unless you were
Yeah, it was-
established, right? Like,
Yeah.
if this were a book that more people knew going
Yeah, that's
in,
fair.
that might have been how they handled it. But yeah, so this they couldn't really handle it that way. So
Just
they
thinking of like the Sharp movies with
Yeah.
Sean Beam.
But the worst
like
part-
10 of those.
The worst part though about this is, like we said, they crammed 2 together, and they still found the most boring part of the one.
yeah,
Well, the choices were kind of strange.
a little bit.
You gotta agree.
because it starts off so good.
So
Because
yeah,
it's like big, the ambush,
epic battle.
in the very beginning with the Acheron
Yes.
and shit.
Acheron? I don't
Acheron?
know.
Whatever. It
It-
depends on what accent you have.
Yeah, it was
And
an,
then-
and it's an epic battle.
Yeah,
dude.
it is. And then like you have like the clever cat and mouse bit where he builds the little raft and like leads it away, and they escape, and then he comes up around behind them and shit. That was all good, but it's like after they get caught in the storm and shit, this movie just stops.
Well, again, like it starts off with a level of epicness that it makes you think. Again, like the whole idea here is like, oh, the conflicts of war on the open ocean, right? And it starts you with that.
And it's
5 minutes in.
such a good portrayal of
5 minutes in, you're like, whoa,
it, right?
yeah.
You're like shit.
10 minutes in, and you're like, are we ever going to see a fight again?
Right. And there's the bullshit scene where they're like rowing. They got like 4 little rowboats like paddling the boat, like pulling this giant 3-masted ship that's got all that's all fucked up after they got ambushed. And they're
Yeah.
like, "Go, let's get into the fog."
And again, like that's the thing too. Like, it almost starts with a too unbelievable of a moment.
Yeah,
That
ship
boat
was
looked
fucked,
done.
dude. They even stop and show you, like they have the dudes go down and be like, "The rudder's trash."
Well, dude, and
it's
there's so much
gone."
water coming in.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude. I think again, 5 minutes into the movie, you're just like, oh, so we're gonna have a different boat for the movie?
Yeah,
No,
right.
it's this one.
This is
They
it's
fixed
almost like
this.
it's like a Sting, right? Like this is like the tease. You know,
Bait and switch.
Russell Crowe's only in the first 5
Yeah.
minutes of this movie. This ship just gets fucked up, and we have like a whole
Tricked
new
you.
crew
Yeah,
to
dude.
come in and hunt the ship down in revenge of this one.
Promise you guys, not what happens.
Not what happened. That would have been cool though.
It might have got a little bit
That
more
would have
people
been
here.
awesome. Could have got some new actor over, right?
Yeah. So
who
we
was
should-
up and coming in like 2003?
I'm
Would have
not
been a
sure.
good ship's captain.
that's a-
Who's the guy from Batman? Played Two-Face. He was in Thank You for Not Smoking. What's that
I
guy's-
know. I can't.
he would have been good.
Yeah. Well, and so like we do need to talk about the actors for a second, just a second, because again,
Yeah, go ahead.
most of these are not people. I don't.
They're not people.
No, they're not. It's
They're,
not that
they're not people.
Don't
they're,
misquote me.
They're robots.
They're just okay. So because again, I don't even want to say they're people. They're not. It's not that they're not.
They're
in
not
things.
A-list actors.
One that like they're definitely like you'd have to track down even the character. I would tell you about the thing they're in. It's not even like someone you're just gonna be like, oh, I know who he's talking about, right?
At
like,
best, you're gonna be like, oh, I've seen that guy in something.
But we do have 3 big people, right? So obviously we've said Russell Crowe like 7 times already. Russell Crowe is here. We also don't need to say anything else about him because
go watch our Gladiator episode.
If you need to hear something about him, we definitely said it. Gladiator, as we already said, was a long one.
I think we did like 30 minutes on fucking Russell Crowe
or something. Come back, let us know.
Yeah, comments.
So Russell Crowe's here. He's our captain. But so these books were known for 2 people, the books in the movie, and therefore what would have been the franchise would have been really the story of these 2 people, right? And so the other one is the doctor, the surgeon on board, Dr. Stephen Maturin.
They never say it.
I know. I don't know. Well, and again, if it comes from a book, I don't know how to pronounce it. Yeah.
But he's Irish. He says he's Irish, so it's got to be like Macaron or something like that. Like there's a silent vowel in there.
Someone do that. Type the pronunciation for us.
Yeah, phonetic that out for me.
But so yeah, that's Paul Bettany, and so again, like we've talked about him
last
before.
week. We were talking about A Knight's Tale. Yeah. He's Geoffrey Chaucer. He's the hype man. He goes out and hypes everybody.
And that's again like he's looking roughly the same as he did in that era. You know what I mean? Like even a little bit dirty.
I think it was a few like 2 years after that.
Something
it wasn't that long.
Yeah. But yeah, even looking a little dirty.
Yeah, right.
Because he's on this
boat. There, maybe some salt water, scrub it off.
Handling the wickedest tools in the world because of the surgeon stuff in the boat.
I mean, Victorian medicine is a fucking trip, dude.
You
basically
guys,
just burn it, cut it, or poison it off.
You also recognize Paul Bettany because he's Vision. He's in the MCU
Marvel universe.
Yeah. He's you've made it big and got it cushy once you hit the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I saw it when he first came up. We went and saw that movie. I was like, oh, it's Geoffrey Chaucer.
Everybody's got their thing that they know him from. Bo,
that's the first thing
maybe, hopefully, some people are like, hey. That's Dr. Steven.
It's Dr. Steven.
Maybe that's the thing they know him from first.
I hope so. My history nerds, where you at? I can't be the only one. Back me up. You went and saw this in the theater.
And so like we've already started to say, though, I guess we got one more actor that is huge that we definitely have to mention, right?
Yeah.
Well, not huge, but I mean, he's huge to a certain crowd.
He's huge to us, man.
He's actually known for not being huge. He's known for being short of stature.
Quite small, actually.
So we have Billy Boyd.
Yes.
We have one of our hobbits.
Motherfucking Pippin.
Again, me and Bo are big dorks, and one of those things is definitely Lord of the Rings and J.R.R. Tolkien.
Can't wait for that episode.
One of what do we do? Do we do the backsheet cartoons? Do we do what are we doing?
We do all of it, man. We do all of it. We do the cartoon. We start with the Hobbit cartoon, right?
Then it's Return of the King because they didn't do the rest. They just did the 2.
And then we do the
or maybe it's Fellowship and Return. They didn't.
Then we do the Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
What's 6? Septology?
Something like that.
Yeah. All those. And then we can do the new Amazon show at the very end. Because I haven't watched that one yet.
It's pretty good. It's worth the watch.
Is it?
Yeah. If you want to... Here's our little segue back to what we're doing. If you like this because you like the accuracy to stuff, dude, they spent some time. Again, I know it's a fantasy world, but I mean, like, dude, they spent a lot of time to really for a show. Obviously, they didn't do Peter Jackson level stuff. They don't have the budget for that. Yeah. But dude, for a show, even for a streaming show, dude, they put a lot of work into like trying to make stuff really fit the descriptions.
I want to see the guy like behind the scenes. He's walking around with the fucking Cimmerillion, yelling at people, tapping the book. That is not how this happened.
Anatard is not.
I will keep this goddamn show on book.
But yeah, so Billy Boyd though wraps it up for us. He was our last really, really, really big one. We've got other people, and I'm not knocking him.
He's the helmsman.
Yeah, that's my point.
Right,
though.
Like
Billy Boyd's our biggest name outside of our big 2.
Yeah,
and he's got a small part, and at the time was not as big. This is not Lord of the Rings big Billy Boyd. This was
like
this is 2003. He might have just went to start
filming
something.
When did they start for that?
Maybe no. I don't remember.
We'll save it for the episode.
Yeah.
We'll do our research.
I could be all wrong. Maybe he did that in between.
I've read the books more recently than watched the movies.
Me too, probably.
Nice. Did you get them for free on Audible too?
I think I might have bought them
I
before that.
got like for like doing it
I want
for
you
so
to-
long.
When you look over your shoulder,
Oh fuck yeah!
they're all
Nice.
there. Do you see it?
I do.
Well, the Silmarillion's the only thing missing.
Book of Lost Tales. You got unfinished stories. Can't tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's over there. I see it. Mine are in the garage somewhere, but I got the Fellowship of the Ring for free on
Nice.
Audible because I listened for so many hours and they gave me a free credit.
You should try to see if they'd give you a free credit for one of these books. Back to our
Oh,
movie.
dude, that would be good.
That way you could really you have to pick the one you want. Do you want the chase story or do you want the war
I
battle
kind of have
story?
to do things in which one
I don't know which
was
one's first. I didn't look it up.
That's what I would have to do. I'd have to do it in order, even if the first one sucks.
But so like we were saying though, one of the things that Bo really enjoyed about this, because he is a history buff, is the accuracy. And the accuracy is on another level, dude. It is.
It
I will
is,
give you
especially
that.
the like battle scenes. If you want to like just masterclass portrayal of how it would have like looked, felt, sounded to be on a ship at that time period getting shot at, that.
Well, dude, and again, they did everything, right? Like they're actually on water.
Yeah,
in a
dude,
boat.
there's an actual ship.
There's two.
There's like a fucking like
There's
some
two.
fucking ships there.
That's what's crazy. So they
would CGI that.
They
shit
found
now.
a replica that someone else had built in the 70s in like Canada.
Just a home project. Just felt like building
And it was a
frigate.
recreation of a you can find all this. I don't remember the exact the Rose, I think. I looked all this up in haste and found a lot of stuff here. But he recreated a boat in the 70s. And I don't know. I guess use it for personal shit in Nova Scotia, Canada. I think is where I read.
I would take a cruise on that.
I don't know what he would do.
let's go.
But then apparently, after Peter Weir had turned the movie down, he stumbled upon it being sold and it's literally at the time he bought it was the only working frigate, the only one that could be on the water. And so he was just like, well, fuck me. I guess that's not a sign. I don't know what is.
The gods have said, here, we even gave you the fucking boat. You have to do it.
And so they used that one because it's already been seaworthy.
Yeah.
They used that one for anything that was filmed on real waters. And then they made a replica of the replica.
To do in the big sea tank.
Same sea tank they did the Titanic stuff in.
Nice. I love it when they reuse shit like that. I think you can still go see the Waterworld set. Like, I think it's just rusting away out in the ocean somewhere.
Some of the stuff from Lost is still out in Hawaii.
Nice.
Just like the hatch door.
Fuck yeah, I want to go do
Just
shit
there.
like that. There we go. Ultimate Patreon video. We travel around the world to set locations.
Oh, dude, that would be too much fun. Too much fun. I couldn't even handle it.
I couldn't either.
But yeah, so you have to give credit for the accuracy. They spent the time, they made sure, and it is, and it's beautiful. And some of the shots, some of the scenes, like from underwater, the underwater, like up at the anchor.
That was what I was about to say. One of my favorite shots of the whole movie is it pans from underneath the ship and then just goes over this giant anchor, and off in the corner you can just see the keel of the boat. I was like,
and the light,
like the little like beam of light coming through. I'm like, that's the best shot in the movie.
It's
right
beautiful.
There.
It is. It is beautiful. Some of the stuff on the Galapagos Island, it's breathtaking because they actually got to film there. I think I read first time anybody filmed there.
Really?
Like this type of filming.
Yeah, without like
filming,
not like
documentary filming.
Cue.
Yeah, like crazy, right? Crazy.
And
it's gorgeous.
But there's been like, because we watched the Charles Darwin documentary movie when I was in like 3rd grade.
But that doesn't mean that they filmed it.
Why wouldn't you though? I'm just saying.
Maybe they didn't get the rights.
It's some bullshit. You're doing the Darwin movie. He's kind of got to go to Galapagos Islands.
But what's the budget on that?
I don't know. It was a movie, probably made for TV movie.
But you get what I'm saying? They wouldn't have had the budget to go somewhere like that on location.
How expensive is it to throw them on a rickety ass barge with some cameras and send them to get some B-roll?
Do you think the guy working for KET has the dedication to go live on a barge for 3 months?
If I was the camera guy, I'd be like, yo, I'll go.
I don't even mean that guy. I'm even talking about the actor. 3 months to film 5 minutes for the dialogue. Never. Dude,
But you
never.
get to go to Galapagos Island. It's a brag. You get to come
It
back.
is to some people. You know what I'm saying? Like, not
Yeah.
everybody is immediately like, I want to go. I do. I'm not saying I don't.
Yeah, no, I thinking with my nerd brain again. My nerd friends would fucking pop for it. They'd be like, that's awesome.
Look, I'll dork out with you. I agree. I think it'd be a fun time. But I'm saying not everybody is maybe there.
Big turtles and
Turtle.
I would be turtle enough for the turtle club there.
Okay.
That's literally the only funny part of that movie.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, so and speaking of turtles in the Galapagos Island, that's one of those things from the movie that I fucking love, dude.
I do. I
when
love
the when Dr. Steven
because he gets shot, right? And they're like, well, we can't do the surgery on the boat, so like
we have to go to land.
We got to go back.
And he was like, I need this.
Yeah, and Jack's kind of like, yeah, all right, go ahead, man.
I need a breather.
You already got shot for this shit. I guess you can go pick up some birds.
Again, he's like, look, I'm the one that's dealing with PTSD right now. Do you know how many people I've hacked into?
I've killed a lot of people to get this fucking boat, man.
Please just let me have a minute. And so he got to have his moment on the islands. And yeah, the turtles. So when he was with the family, the herd, what do you even call that many turtles?
They're endangered. That literally had to have been like every turtle on Galapagos just herded into one spot.
Gorgeous, though, wasn't it?
Awesome. I was like, I want to be there. I want to pet the giant turtle.
They look so much like puppets, and I was like, I know they're not.
My next tattoo is a fucking big ass turtle on the back of my leg.
I'm telling you,
kind of Polynesian style.
So yeah, I mean, they had some things that were just beautiful and gorgeous, and like, but again, like. This was the kind of movie that you understand when you watch it. You feel, again, Gladiator won awards, and you could tell it would, but it also entertained you. This one had a lot of moments where you're like, man, I feel the awards.
Yeah,
I feel the awards
won
coming.
Too, but it was best direction and best cinematography.
Best sound direction.
Was it best sound direction?
There's a really weird one that went with it.
I get that. I mean, those cannon sounds were on point.
Well, also... Here's one. Did you know? Russell Crowe learned to play the violin.
I was gonna ask if you looked that up because I watched it like 3 times because I'm a dork. But I was like on the second or third one, I was like, I feel like he's actually playing. No, and you played violin. Can you tell?
So listen, I knew he wasn't, but what I'll tell you is it was So here's the deal. Here's the full. He learned to play the violin. And he did learn to play pretty well.
Nice.
And he did everything you see is him playing stroke for stroke what should be played. He's just not really there.
Yeah.
And so they did overdub on top. You're not hearing Russell Crowe. Everything correct. You see is him. Yeah,
nice. Yeah. Okay, cool. I was gonna because the look.
But what I can tell you is, in the beginning, the first time you see him pull it out, there's the vibrato, the vibration that you can hear.
Yeah.
He is holding it still-handed. There's no movement in his wrist that's on the
that
violin or no vibration on the bow. And so, like, he might have had the strokes right. He might have had the fingerings right. But again, that's why they had to overdub him. What he played would not have sounded like what they played us.
Screech, screech, screech.
Well, no, it might even sounded right, but it wouldn't. It would have sounded like a flat note.
Yeah.
You mean like it would have sounded like just like hitting the piano key straight.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been like whoa, the vibration that it has, the wah 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 wah. That comes from like moving the string back and forth.
Yeah, like on a guitar, you do the.
But it's also a vibration that you can do in the bow, and so yeah, like there was no movement.
Tremolo.
Yeah, there was no movement in either wrist for him to be producing that.
What about Doc Steven? Did he fucking actually play that cello?
I do believe he did learn.
I love a cello, man.
Well, listen, dude. Like on the note of like them trying to do these things completely right. They did send everybody, cast, crew, whatever, to actually like be on boats,
sailing school, basically.
To learn how to boat to on that type. They had to learn how to do these things, right? Like
boats.
They had to learn how to do boats. And so yeah, these guys literally had to learn how to do all of this stuff. What's the funniest part about this is, right, and you watched the movie and you maybe found this out because you watched some of the things about the a little bit more of the book to the movie, right? in the books, and you can see a little bit in the movie, the doctor is supposed to be the guy who is the worst. He's got the worst sea legs, as they would say, right? Like he's a landlubber.
Yeah,
he does not like to be on the water.
He got pulled out of his like fancy London physician's house and then put on this boat because Jack needed him.
So in the on-screen world, he is the guy who's the worst at handling the sea. In the real world, Paul Bettany is the guy he's the only person
who didn't get
in cast and crew who did not get seasick. The only one out of all of them.
He was made for the sea. He loves the smell of the salt air.
So apparently he grew up, and in England there is some kind of version of Scouts. Sea Scouts. I think that's what it was called.
Oh shit, that sounds so cool.
Or something like that. And so he grew up doing something like that.
I got ripped off. I was just in Boy Scouts. I want to be in Sea Scouts. That sounds awesome.
Well, this is what happens when you're in the real place where all these things originate, right? Like Boy Scouts is based on the British Scouts program.
Yeah.
And so like they've had a longer history of scouting.
Of it.
And so yeah, it makes sense that they might have more specific scouting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, Paul Bettany was the one guy.
Canoe though. That was fun.
It was a boat?
Yeah, it was a boat.
It's not a ship.
No sailing. Though.
Right.
There was a sailing badge in the manual, but
we didn't live in an area.
Yeah, I'm like, where the fuck am I going to do that
at? But yeah, so you got to give them credit that they did the amount of work to put these people through the ringer. But it was so funny, and
I'd pay somebody to do that.
And it's funny to me, and it happens on sets all the time. Where like the irony of the fact that the guy they needed to portray the worst one is the guy who's like who has to really have to stretch to do that.
It's like Spartacus. You remember that show?
Yeah.
The guy who played Asher.
Mm-hmm.
Dude was killing everybody at all like the workouts and shit that they were having him do and stuff. You got like Crixus and fucking Spoil, they're all buff and shit. You got the kind of pudgy guy, dude. He's smoking them in the fucking.
I mean, dude, it's how it works, right? Like, and what's
sneaky and shit.
Well, and what's funny is like that means that person's doing so much more acting than you realize, right? Like Paul Bettany had to like analyze the people around him to be like, that's what seasickness is like, because I've never been that.
Yep, never done that.
Right? You know what I mean? Like that's badass. That's cool.
More respect for Vision at this point.
Yeah, Vision definitely is winning some points for me on that. Chaucer knows how to
do it. He does more than write.
So I totally understand everything about how this kind of ended up being the movie that was like destined for award ceremonies, and critics loved
regular people are probably going to be like, I mean, that's cool.
Well, like you said, the middle. So again, the chase.
Yeah,
they chose to make half of the movie the chase, over half of the movie. I don't know. This is.
Well, it's like the chase starts and then like they get away and then it kind of dies.
Well, it's like 2 hours. Well, but again, that it's still the chase because they're trying to represent nautical life, and a chase on sea is not fast.
And they're in the Pacific by that point, and it's a giant ocean.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, but think about it. Like, they already knew the one boat which was already built faster than them.
It's bigger, stronger, faster, twice the guns.
10 minutes into the movie, they told us they already had a 14-day head start. Right. 14 days. So think about that.
At like what, 10, 20 mile an hour?
Even the chase is slow
as fuck.
And so like that's the thing. Like the movie in the middle, the movie dead stops, but the chase was on technically. They were still
we were still looking for them.
They were still on the hunt. It's just really boring the hunt because they were like, instead of being like, hey, let's talk about how all these people are so focused, like bloodhounds on getting this boat. No, let's show the mundaneness of living on a boat.
Let's do like 10 minutes of them not liking that one fucking midship guy until he fucking kills himself. It's like, all right.
Jumps in. Dude, you got, I will say, that scene, that's one of those ones where again, the middle gets a little boring, right? That's one of those ones where you can totally check out, and I will forgive you if you check out, and then all of a sudden you look back and you're like, "What the fuck just happened?" Because the weirdness. He's just talking to the kid, and he just like walks off. Just walks off.
Grabs a cannonball, jumps off, just gone.
He's just holding it.
But before that, it's like the rest of the crew just kind of picks on him because he's trying to be too nice to him and shit. It's like, and then out of nowhere, he's just like, yeah, I'm going to go jump off the boat to save everybody because I'm the thing causing this to not have any wind or whatever the fuck it was.
I guess it was. I don't even know. Again, like,
well, the wind came back as soon as he died.
But again, that's superstition.
Yeah, but it's just
because a lot of because somebody's accidentally right doesn't mean it proves anything.
This needed to be, instead of like a, what was it, like 2 hours, 15 minutes, like a big 2 hour epic,
long
to a hour and a half fast action movie.
No,
like that's what this needed.
I
to
agree
be.
with you. This should have been a tight 90.
Yeah,
it should have told a really cool. Again, I don't mean John Woo level action.
No, but
movie.
like keep it tense. More cat and mouse stuff,
Don't
like with
leave
the barrel
in the
and
middle.
shit.
And
yeah.
I get it; they were trying to be true to the source material, right? They were trying to say
those are two different books. You could have done two different.
They should have done the one that was just in high octane.
Yeah, the one that's just the battle and
if you
shit.
get people invested in the characters and the story with something like that for the first one, you can tell a boring story in the second one because then we're like, we know those guys. I
care about what's going to happen.
You can't try to give me
You could have done. The first one's just like them chasing the Acheron and all that shit. The second one is Steven getting wounded and him having to be put on the island, but Jack has to go off and do something fucking else, and they're separated. You could have told a whole buddy friendship drama story.
That's what the books
That's
are.
like what the whole middle part of the movie is trying to be, but it slows everything down.
And the books are that too. Like that's the thing. Like the books are the Aubrey Matsurin whatever his name is.
Dude, and I'm all for it.
Like Dr. Stephen, Captain Jack.
Yeah, I love their friendship. It's great, especially the bits where like they fight because
playing their ensemble music together, even when angry at each other.
Yeah, it's great.
The passion into the music, dude.
The servant guy Killick, every time they start, he's like, "Oh fuck again with the screech, screech."
Here's a weird thing that I've found. You know, like, again, doing the weird amount of research that I do, I stumble into weird things sometimes. Like, sometimes it's, like, very connected to the movie. Sometimes it's, like, tangential.
Yeah.
That dude. That was good.
Same time.
You owe me a Coke or a beer.
Oh, here you go.
Thank you.
Take that one.
I'll take that.
Nice.
But yeah, that dude's name, the full name, I don't even have it in my notes anywhere. But his full name is essentially, like, a translation of, like, heavy anchor, like heavy weight, like extra weight, like you get what I mean. Like his character is
big fat boy,
unneeded, extra, just here,
dead weight.
Yes, dude. That's like, but it is specifically like his last is something to do with an anchor. Like his last name is literally like Anchor, and then like yeah, dude. That's cracked up when I saw it. I was like, that has no relevance to anything, but I appreciate the author
right for doing that. He's like. He's sitting there writing, be like, this is only funny to me.
Right, like most people aren't gonna know this.
Oh, that's how I come up with shit, like ideas. Like I have like a whole notebook of ideas for like short films, and half of them are only going to be funny to me.
Well, you know me, dude. Like that's how I am with my pop culture references. Sometimes I have to test them on you before we record because I'm like, let's see if Bo even knows what I'm talking about when I say this.
All right, because I know some. You've watched way more shit than me.
Well, and I know some deep cuts.
Yeah,
and I throw them out like they're general knowledge. Yeah, I mean,
okay, I do that with wrestling stuff. To other people,
everybody has their thing, or everybody should. Everybody should have something that they know more about everything.
Tell us in the comments what's your weird nerd niche that nobody gets you referencing to.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't even know where to go.
I don't know either.
I need to stop from laughing for a second. But yeah, so this was let's try to get back on this for a second. I don't even know what else to say. We need it. We needed a short episode after a long episode. We're too short. We're like
short.
40 minutes. Everybody can hear us even saying this. I don't care. People
I don't care.
People need to know that sometimes we are unaware. We have no
idea what the fuck
our
we're doing.
self-awareness is out the window, and we don't pay attention to the time too long.
All this does is prove that how unscripted all this fucking is.
Well, and it also again since we are thinking about wanting to do this for episodes, it proves to you how much, again, like the reason episodes have to follow the other structure is because we're not actually, nobody's ever told me I'm actually ADD, But I think our conversation right now,
yeah, probably
with any kind
a little bit.
without us having a structured thing to follow. Well, I think both of us.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I
Yeah.
was like, a little bit might be.
Yeah, because without a structure here to follow, without saying we're gonna follow from the beginning of a story to the end of the story, I don't even know where to go. Before we started, I had so many things I was like, we can definitely talk about. I don't know if we've talked about all of them.
Favorite scene from the whole fucking movie.
My
out of
I've already
context,
said
doesn't
Galapagos
matter.
Island. I love it, dude. I love the seals. I love the lizards. I love the turtles. I love the dude. And again, I get it. It's sandwiched in the middle of the boring stuff. And so I know that a lot of people might have checked out before you've seen it.
This is why we needed the second movie. This could have been like you could have got like more.
Oh, I could have got an extended
more
Galapagos
than like the 15
Island scene.
minutes.
Yeah,
You could have got like a whole 30 of them like exploring the island.
I
and
would
shit.
have enjoyed that. To be honest with you, outside of that one, it's just the beginning fight.
Really, the
Yeah, dude.
ambush
Yeah,
where
yeah.
everything just goes to hell
haywire
immediately.
fast. Because you get so much more realism in that. Because you get like the captain almost knocked unconscious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you see so much more of the fact that like the rest of the movie,
you get that poor kid fucking like loses his arm.
Well, the rest of the movie, Captain Jack feels like what captains in most movies feel like, which is like the dude in his ivory tower.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's still standing on deck, but he's not really getting hurt. You know what I mean?
No,
he's kind of safe.
he's got the bullets are going to magically swerve around him.
The beginning, he knocks his head into the deck. You feel like, oh no, he's there. He's one of the,
he's
like
one of the boys.
Yeah, yeah. Like it lets you know everybody's in it, right? Like everybody's gonna deal with it.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a great way to start the movie too.
What about you? What's your favorite scene?
My favorite scene is this. It's probably the dumbest scene in the entire movie. It's the dinner scene when they're all talking about the weevils.
Yes.
The
joke.
The joke
Yeah,
is like because the doctor's a naturalist, right? And he's like, Doctor, which of these two weevils on this hardtack would you pick? And he's just like, he gets all serious. He gets the glasses. He's like, well, one of them's bigger and longer, so I'd go with him. He's clearly got the advantage.
But why? Well, because clearly he's the lesser of two weevils. Oh my fucking! The way they all rip-roared. Everybody in that room.
The best part is Doctor's just sitting there looking at me. He's just like, they're all laughing and shit. He's like, man, he who would make a pun would pick a pocket. And I loved that line. I was like, that is the most dorky thing to fucking say at that point. And I love a good pun.
To me, him throwing that line out had the same vibes as Mercutio with the "I'll bite my thumb at thee."
Oh, dude,
I don't know why, but it just like vibes. Not like it doesn't connect in any way, but vibes. It's got the same kind of like the way he says it.
Shit, man.
The way he said it to them.
Just
yes,
bite your thumb at me.
Well,
sir.
and it's like
I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I do bite my thumb.
It was the way, right? Like it's the way he said it back. Like because he was just like, "You guys get it, but I don't think you really get it." I need to make sure you guys really understand what I'm trying to get at. Two weevils.
Two weevils.
I do believe doesn't he even go back and say it again? He does.
Yeah,
if not him, someone goes.
It gets referenced later after that kid gets killed when the mast comes down.
No. I mean, like even in the scene, like after the joke is told, like someone says two weevils again. Like,
because they toasted to the lesser of two weevils.
Yes, dude. Again, like that's how good it is. Like it is. I'll give you. It is a very much slice of life. Of what that like at that time, right? Living on the boat. And what is it? What else is it? The toast, right? The captain's toast. For that scene?
Yeah, to wives and sweethearts,
and may they never meet. Yes, I looked that up. That is a British Navy regular toast for Saturdays.
Hey, just Saturday.
Well, like every day they have like again, like because they're very like any military. Structure. You should do the same things all the time.
So every Saturday,
so every
that's
meal,
the toast.
Someone would make a toast, and that's the Saturday toast.
That's awesome. They got a girl in every port, the filthy buggers.
Did you see the women that showed up from the islands? When they were trading in the beginning?
Yeah, even Jack stops and just kind of eye bangs that one chick for a minute, like, Man, it's been a long time
Dude,
since
look,
I've seen a chick.
Everything in the trading scene was fun.
Oh, the one
people
guy,
with the just yelling.
yeah, like, hey,
oh, my
give
shirt.
me your shirt. I'll give you these melons.
All the pirates were like, fresh fruit. So again, speaks to the realism.
Yeah, dude.
Like there's so much realism to that, right? Like
And
that's
the mail,
so real life.
The dude coming through with the mail,
Yes.
like giving it to that dude, like first English ship going for England, you give him this. It's very important. That's
has to go there.
That's a legit thing that would
and
happen.
Well, because there was no structured mail. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the way it would work is like boat to boat.
Yeah,
if one boat was going and they weren't going to get there faster, but they ran into another one, they're like, well, how soon are you planning to get to England?
You're going to be hitting London anytime soon?
Are you going to hit shore there faster than we plan to? And they're like, no, yeah, we're going straight there. Oh, now it's now your job.
Bro, here, like 5 shillings, take this with you.
Someone else paid me. I don't know what it is.
Right, I have no fucking idea.
We're just passing it along. Please get it there.
This is why it took months and months for anybody to get any mail back
then.
and
why there were random hatreds on the sea, like what we see in this movie. Like this one was a little bit more. It was only sound from Captain Jack's point of view. We still don't really. Do we ever really get real?
It feels personal between these two.
It does.
Between Jack and the French captain, right? But they never.
They make a pseudo joke for one scene.
Yeah, where Jack's just like, did I kill his relative or something?
That's from another one of the books.
Oh, is it?
That's a whole thing that happens in one of the books.
So he did.
No, he still doesn't know.
Oh,
Everything. The whole joke is stolen from another book.
Oh,
Not even like the storyline.
Yeah.
In one of the other books of the series,
This decision
they were
made.
like,
next audible credit is going to these books. I gotta read them now.
in the book, I do believe they were like he was fighting a ship on his way through the Antarctic, and they were fighting him, and that's what he said. He was like, I guess I must have killed his son.
That's another movie. That's the third movie. That's the prequel.
Well, that was like I said.
Right?
That was the plan. The plan was for this to go on, dude. This would have been Pirates of the Caribbean before Pirates of the Caribbean.
That would have been so cool,
right?
I went and saw this in the theater. I did my part. God damn it! What happened to the rest of you assholes?
I mean, it was 2003. I was in. To throw back to last week, I was in college doing the things you heard us talking about.
I just got into high school. I think I was like sophomore. So,
yeah,
me, my friend Priest, Chuck, Puck, and Lettingham. We all of us went and saw this movie. It was great.
Yeah. So again, guys, this was so much fun. But like we said, if you haven't watched it, I still suggest you watch it.
Yes.
Again, I won't be surprised if you fall
movies.
Asleep in the middle. Understand that you probably didn't miss a whole lot.
Yeah.
If you heard me talk about things you didn't see, or Bo talk about things you didn't see, then maybe go back and watch the middle.
Maybe go try that again.
Yeah.
If you have the DVD,
you might have missed. You might have missed
the scene select.
Yeah.
Remember that?
You might have missed the key parts if you don't know what we're talking about. But I'm
willing to bet they fell asleep about the 45-50 minute.
Yeah, which
mark.
means they might have missed Galapagos if they didn't wake up in time.
Which is a good scene, but again, could have been its own separate.
Yeah, it could have. I get it. Again, like I said, it's my favorite. I will plug that as many times as I need to, Bo. But before we finish everything, if we're even actually finished, but I mean, we definitely are probably getting close.
Yeah,
we're both struggling a little bit.
I'm drowning here. Help me out, buddy.
The one thing I do want to talk about on that best of is this not worst of scene, but one thing that like when I was watching both times, and you know me, I've talked about this in other movies. Like there's just sometimes I'm watching and I'm like, I don't know why that stands out to me so bad. It's not even like, it's not even important,
right? The scene where you're just like, my immersion's broken. What is
even
that?
Though, and again, for a movie like this, it's probably real.
Yeah,
but it doesn't feel like it's
just
real.
It stood out
right?
so much. You're just like, what
that I was like, I don't know if I can believe that. Every officer on the boat, other than the captain, right?
Yeah,
wore top hats in saltwater air, and none of them were stained, and none of them were literally crusted with rock salt coming off of it.
I don't know. I'd have to do some research, but
you know what I mean. Like when you think of things in
they
the
were like
sea,
shiny.
You think of things in the sea.
Is there? Are they? Is it like?
But
boots
it's a felt
back
hat.
In the day? Like
how do you polish a felt hat? Again. Probably real, but
they're using their rum ration to get the salt off.
You understand what I'm saying though, right? probably real.
Probably.
But I feel like being a normal person looking that and knowing what happens when things are in too much saltwater air too long.
They get crusty.
Right? And it's just it's a protrusion up into the air. I feel
should have
like
at least had like a white tinge to it or something. But no, these things are like pristine black fucking hats.
So like I said, it's not important. It definitely probably takes no one else out of the movie. For some reason, every time I watched it to get ready for this, I just kept seeing it being like, is that true?
Right.
Did they? They wore top hats,
There
right?
had
Like
to-
they were all again, I mean like Scrooge McDuck top hats,
Yeah.
right? Like these guys were wearing.
Was it might have been just for the midshipmen. Maybe
But
like
still, there were too many on boat.
right? Like maybe they had to wear the goofy top hat and it was like a rite of passage. You had to keep it clean.
If you would have told me they were people who were always lower deck, maybe I'd tell you that's
but
okay.
then why wear a fucking hat?
But we only saw them on the upper deck, dude.
Yeah.
Well, again, that's the thing. All of the people who probably spend more time on deck who could handle needing a brim on a hat.
Don't
Now
have
this
it.
one
They don't even
that
have
that
hats,
one's a
half of
comment
them.
on history. That one's not a comment on the movie.
Yeah.
The history, we should have done better for the poor guy who was swabbing the deck.
Yeah.
He deserved a hat with a brim.
Big wide one of those straw hats, right?
The 15-year-old officer who looked like a 10-year-old out there did not need a top hat.
Hey, he lost his arm.
Not just him. There were more than one kid.
Right. No,
There was-
dude, there was one. I
there
swear
were
it was
several
like
kids.
7. Did
Yes.
you see the super tiny little kid?
Can we all? Okay, now that you said that,
It's accurate though. That
yes,
shit
no,
happened.
no. I was going to say before we get to yours, most like weirdest thing that took you. I think that's
Yeah.
maybe a good way to put it, right? Weirdest thing that takes you out of the movie.
The whole
You
movie.
know that maybe no one else felt that way about. But before we get to that, the kids, and again, I know it's historically accurate. What's with so many kid officers? Not even just on the boat. Officers.
all of them. There's like 6
None
of
of
these
the-
little bastards.
Well, I'm supposed to believe you got people who are 50 scrubbing a deck with a mop. But
taking orders from this like 10-year-old
no,
kid.
I'm fine with that. I can believe some are officers. But you got no 10-year-olds that are scrubbing the deck.
Where's the cabin
That guy
boy,
started as a cabin boy.
Exactly.
So you're going to tell me you got a lifelong guy scrubbing a deck on board, but no, he's not training the next guy to scrub decks? We only got the rich guy? Wait.
Did we run out of film?
No.
Oh.
There's a call coming in. It did not stop recording, but there was a message that was like, may stop. So I wanted to make sure it didn't.
Make sure it didn't.
Yeah. But yeah, it is weird with these kids, right? You definitely have to give me like, again, I know that I know that one's historically accurate.
There would have been.
There should have been a
like
cabin
2,
boy.
like the Calamy and the Blakely guy. They
Yes.
were the officer kids. The rest of them should have been like swabbing deck cabin boy,
yes.
just learning to
To
sail.
me, I agree. There should have been 2 lower hand kids to
Mhm.
every 1 kid officer,
Yeah,
right?
that would have been good.
I agree. But no, we saw every kid was an officer. If there was a
All of
child
them.
on the boat, they were an officer. Not even an officer in training. They were officers. They
Hey,
held rank.
That one little tiny kid with the long hair, he's a badass in the fight at the end
Yes,
of it.
he-
He's just like hiding under the little stairs going, yeah,
Yes.
and stabbing
So
motherfuckers.
all props to the kids, and again, like these kids are representing real kids that did this.
Yeah,
So
It's
all props
absolutely
to it.
a standard practice.
But again, I still stand by. There would have been more poor kids on that boat.
Oh, definitely.
Than what we got to
They
see.
wouldn't have even volunteered. They would have just grabbed these kids
Oh, yeah, no.
off the street.
They would have seen
and
you
pressed
dirty.
them
They
into
would have seen you
service.
dirty grabbing for change and be
Yeah.
like, "You're on the boat now.
You want to join the Navy? No, too bad.
Your parents are gone. I got a place
But
for
my
you."
mom lives over. Nope, shut up.
No, I'm telling
I'm
you.
telling
I wasn't
you,
asking.
Your
you.
mother's
Yeah,
dead.
yeah.
Shut up.
I didn't ask you if your parents were gone. I
No,
was telling
she's
you.
not. Bang! Now
No,
she is. Get on the
No,
boat.
I was telling you that once you're on this boat, they're gone. That's what I was saying. I wasn't asking a question.
Absolutely a real thing. The history of the British Navy is dark at times.
Well, again,
Glorious and great though it may be,
Maybe-
it's got some dark corners.
maybe why when we decided to do a movie about it, we went fictional.
Yeah, probably
Not
the
real.
best way.
So that way we could try to make it as real as possible while glossing over some of the worst
worst
parts,
bits.
right? on that, what's your weirdest thing that takes you out of the thing that other people might not care
the thing
about?
that I had to
Because yours might be way different. Because you're a history person.
mine
yours
was
could be yours could be like crazy specific.
Mine was the fact that everybody was super confused about like how an American ship was in the possession of the French, because that was like the thing. It was built in like Charleston because one of the ship crewmates conveniently enough saw it being built, but it's a French privateer ship. And everybody's like, well, how is that? I'm like, well, America and France were buddy at that time, so it's pretty conceivable
not
that
even just at that time
they could have paid an American ship company, or alternately, it is basically a pirate ship.
Well,
they could have stole it.
I got two things for you on that. One is a modern day, right? So one is, like you said, it makes sense for it to be French, and not even just for that time period. We were until modern day, until Freedom Fries.
Yeah, until Freedom Fries. I remember that. That was so stupid.
Yes. Until George Bush Jr., George W.
Yeah.
And Freedom Fries, we were always friends with France. Always. Yeah. And I mean always from the start.
Mm-hmm.
The founding of this country was helped by
as much
French.
as I rag on France, we kind
of I do too.
We wouldn't be
without
not
them.
For thee.
They helped us during the revolution.
They sent like what was it? like 4 ships, 10,000 troops.
Well, go watch
General Lafayette to train up.
Go watch
people.
Hamilton.
Like,
Go watch Hamilton.
They did a lot. They sent money.
They worked in our military. Again, Lafayette worked in our military. He was in charge of our troops at certain points. That man.
So thank you, France.
But I'm
still going to shit on you sometimes.
And that's true. But so again,
because you are decidedly very.
So
French.
from the modern point of view, looking at through history, you are 100% right. It's weird for them to say, why would it be French?
Yeah, they
right?
seemed very confused that it was built in America and it's a French ship.
My second note on that is the real life. Remember where I told you like the connection here?
Yeah.
Is that apparently this boat was pseudo based on a real boat. So you got to remember, Patrick O'Brien wrote the books in like the 60s. It was or 50s or something.
Oh shit! Watched the History Buff episode. It was, Jack Aubrey's based on like Thomas Cochrane, who went around and harassed the French and shit.
There's a few different, because again, he wrote so many books. Different books have different personality aspects of Jack that are based on different people.
Nice.
So it all depends on which story. For the movie, I'm not sure. Maybe you're right. If you saw it and they said for the movie, then maybe that's true.
Yeah, probably.
But if you saw that and they were saying for the book, I almost guarantee it would be a specific book that he was based personality-wise on that person. Right?
Probably Master Commander for the fight part.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, somebody else for the chasing down bit.
But so the deal with this boat that they were like is somehow crossing two different peoples. You know, like in the story it was American and French. I think in real life that boat was based on one that was a British boat. And it had an actual reason, and it's the reason you just joked at, that they just stole it.
Yeah,
they could have slid a line in to cover and made it okay, right?
It's like, no, it's got
it
English
was here,
colors
we
now.
saw it and we took it. And so in real life, the real boat that I think that was based on
it.
Yeah, they in real life they had just, the British were at war, they saw it, they took it, and when they took it, they kept it at first because they didn't sink it, and they were just like, well, what are we going to do with it? Because again, like French and British design of boat was different, and so like it didn't matter what flag you saw, people could still shoot it down, not knowing. Yeah. Right. Regardless of flag.
French were like really slow, big. They liked their guns.
Well, and again, that's how pirates would trick people.
The English liked to be more maneuverable, less guns.
You know, pirates would trick people by being like, "Oh, well, this boat's flying this color, so you think it's." But it was, so they knew that they had to still have a boat look like it was their boat. So that way people would know, regardless of the flag and everything else, that's British ship.
That's probably a Spanish frigate or whatever.
And so the British took the boat from the French and they were like, we're going to make some design changes.
Because this is nice.
Added a couple of accents that looked very British.
Some some flame paint on the side to make
I don't
it
know,
go faster.
They put a bust of the king or the queen, whoever was in charge at the time. They put a bust of them on the boat somewhere, and they were like, "Look, now you know it's British."
Yeah, that's right. Look at King George's ugly fucking mug up there.
They put a Big Ben on the top mast. You know, they had.
I'm gonna spit my beer out, you bastard.
But yeah, you know, you get what I'm saying. Like they made sure people knew.
And it's decidedly British. It is a very British ship at this point.
If we were Austin Powers, they would have put the big boy on top.
Right.
Even though it's not British at all, but that's what Austin Powers told us.
Totally would have.
But yeah, so I get the idea. I get where they were coming from. But yeah, like the change there where they made it there, like the question of like American and why the Americans would have it. I agree with you.
Yeah.
That was dumb because we have been entrenched with the France for
forever.
so long. And at this time, the War of 1812, we were literally allies with the France.
For real, because they were already at war with Britain, and then we just kind of piled on.
Well, and we were their allies for the French and Indian War.
Yeah.
Like, it's redonkulous to think that we weren't talking to the French and therefore may have gotten a boat for free from them.
Yeah.
Right?
We designed a new frigate. Hey, France, do you want one? It's kind of sweet.
Well, like I said, historically, we were friends with France so long. They're the ones who made us the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, exactly.
France and America loved each other. You're gonna tell me
we used to anyway.
You're gonna tell us that they built us a giant copper statue, but they wouldn't build us a wooden boat?
That's right.
That's
fair.
One wooden boat in the era of fleets. They wouldn't build us one.
Off the books, even because it's basically a pirate ship, right?
So again, I agree with you. That
was the only part of the movie where I was like, "Why are you confused?" That absolutely probably could have.
Now
happened.
that being said, I will also say that is probably your history buff coming through because I don't think I watched it at any point and had that thought myself.
Yeah, probably.
I never was.
That's just history.
Well, I mean, mine made no sense either.
Yeah,
we both had. That's why it is the weird thing that takes you out. It's not the weird thing that everybody's gonna have a problem with. It's the thing that made you be like, "Is it?"
This is our new segment, the weird BS section of the movie.
Well, it's certainly the new segment if you guys like it. Yeah, because again, this is all about testing the waters. Oh, you like what I did there?
Oh,
testing the waters.
Some nautical jokes.
Had to get one in. I am a dad. I'm allowed to have at least one pun.
You're allowed. I'll allow it. It's fine.
All right. I think that we were trying to flesh for time.
I think we were too.
This is going to be a very short episode. This is going to be very short.
Good.
People who are used to what we do, if you have just seen this, if you're one of our people, well, I guess at this point you're here. At this point, if you're hearing this, you've already been in and buckled in.
Yeah.
So I guess this is what we should have said at the beginning. But again, we didn't know how short it was going to go. So we didn't know if we should say this. But yeah, at this point, I have to say, if you do like this, it's drastically short. You probably saw it in your feed and were like, whoa. What the fuck? For you guys, I've not seen that since Sandlot.
Sandlot was like 120 minutes. Or an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, Sandlot was like under an hour maybe. It was like, or an hour on the dot. Like that was when we were that was the first one. That's when we were worried about it.
Still upset that we only gave like an hour and a half to fucking Star Trek.
No, Star Trek might have been under an hour.
Right. Fuck, no way.
Some we have to go back to do
blasphemy. Come on, we got to go back. We got to rant for like 4 hours on Star Trek.
Yeah. But definitely let us know if you liked this format. If you liked us throwing the scene by scene. Because here's the thing. We know...
Yeah, I didn't even look at my notes the whole time.
Here's the thing, right? Like, we can address this right now. Now that we've done this episode, right? We don't want people to think we're not aware. We're aware. So when it comes to movie podcasts, there are generally two types, right? There's the type where it's just like, again, well, I would maybe three. We generally do two of the three is what we normally do, which is where you like cover information about the movie, then where you do the scene by scene of the movie. That's that again, both of those are standard movie podcasts.
Yeah, it's like your nostalgia critic
yes.
style.
And so then, the third one would be what we did today, where it's just where like we're talking about the movie, very general through all of it.
Yeah.
None of it's specific, right?
I kind of like this better.
This was a lot of fun, but I know me and you are very ADD, so I need people to tell us if it was entertaining to listen to or if it got too disjointed.
Too all over the place.
And even if that's the thing,
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
we need more people to tell us, even if that's the thing, that if we could maybe structure the way we come into this style of episode better, that they might still like it. Like
Yeah.
this is the episode above any other episode.
We really want feedback.
We need feedback. I'm gonna go
Not even,
above
not
and
even
beyond want.
We're above want at
Need.
this point.
Yeah,
We
this is a
need.
need.
I'm begging you, please, baby, please give me some feedback.
Because again, we've been doing this for almost 2 years.
2 years.
And while we have had a blast and had so much fun telling you guys all the time, we don't care if we're having fun, and we don't care if we're getting listeners.
We care.
We want listeners.
We care a little bit, just like 10%. It's like, come on, a little.
And so at this point, the joke is over. The joke of us always telling you guys we don't care, we're doing it only to make ourselves laugh. That's true. But we also do care.
Everybody
and we do want to. We
wants
do
validation, right?
We want people to hear us, and if the length or the style or format has been hindering some people from coming in,
let us fucking know.
let us know if this was more approachable.
Don't be afraid. We're not mean. We're not going to jump on the comment
Only
section.
if you attack my hair. Just in case.
Don't point out that my hair is getting thin.
Just in case we need to clarify for any of the people that do want to try to make fun, I would say today it's more orange.
A little.
It's not pink.
Copper.
Like
shiny copper.
Orange on the edge, copper in the middle.
Yeah, there we
settle
go.
on the edge. Right?
Yeah, it like fades into copper.
A little bit like a flame that
like
goes
a
into metal
coming from the ashes.
But yeah, so again, guys, though, we are very kind people, and we are now wanting to maybe shift into giving you what you want, not always telling you we're going to give you what we want to do regardless.
We'll
so please
keep
give
the
us
tisms at bay.
Give us
right?
the information. Let us know if you like it. Let us know if you didn't like it. Let us know if you did like it, what we can do to make it even better.
More coherent. Keep it all loose like
If
we
you
did.
love,
but like,
if you
keep
love
it
this,
more
where it's if you also
chaos.
If you also have ADD and you liked us not having any kind of structure to it,
I have not been diagnosed.
I haven't either. I'm not trying to pretend like I have. But I feel
wouldn't
like
be surprised. I really wouldn't. I'd be like, well, I might explain some shit.
Look, right now we're coming from a point where we've not even listened back, and I can tell you right now we were all over the place. When I listen back and edit, and I'm gonna message you left and right and be like, no, we were right. We were
all over the fucking place. Did you laugh while you were listening to the edit though?
I've been laughing now.
I know, but like on re-listen, if it's funny twice.
I don't think I've ever had an episode where we had a good time that I didn't enjoy listening back.
All right, I think that's the fucking key.
It's
the what's the kids say? It's the vibe.
It's the vibes.
It's the, like,
you got to put the S on.
vibes.
Vibes.
Is it an S or a Z?
I don't know because I've only heard it said, not written.
Okay, I think we're just proving more that we're ADD at this point.
All right, guys, we had fun. It's good. Beer. Let's talk about the beer. We need to wrap things up.
Obviously, was great. I'm a little drunk.
Commodore Perry.
Commodore, I salute you. Nice, fine British salute.
Our beer beer substitute for Captain Jack. If we salute Captain Jack, we will salute Commodore Perry.
Great Lakes Brewing Company, another fine showing, sir. I appreciate you.
We also have I won't give. Well, should I give away? We have plans to do one.
Can you tease it without giving it away?
I can tease it by saying what their beer is, but people will definitely probably know the movie we're going to do as soon as I say. At some point, we do have our eyes on their Elliot Ness.
Yes. So points in the. Like legit, I like. We will go back and reply to your comment. 10 points if you guess the movie.
Yeah, well, and
for Elliot Ness.
and if you don't know, for the people who don't like the points at this point is just for the first person that decides to do it.
Yeah, 10 points if you guess.
Because if I feel sorry for you if you heard that and you don't know what movie I'm talking. There's even two of them. There's a black and white one.
Oh, is
and
there?
And there's a newer one.
No way! I've not seen that. I've only seen the.
Okay. No extra clues.
Yeah, that's right. I'm shutting up.
All right.
Silence.
Like we said, this was a great beer.
Tell me off camera, though.
Bo.
What?
Next beer. What are we doing next week?
Next one. Where is it? It's over here. Mad Tree Brewing Company's psychopathy IPA.
Or psychopathy?
Psychopathy? That
I don't-
sounds better.
It sounds
like
cooler.
that
I
one.
don't know which one's right.
Psychopathy.
Psychopathy sounds cool. I don't know if it's phonetically correct.
Nope, that's the way I'm saying it from now on. Fuck psychopathy. That's lame. It's psychopathy from now on. Mad Trees IPA. What are we doing?
We're going to be doing for everybody's... we hinted at doing this, and then we actually dropped the ball. I think we missed a Friday the 13th. We said
We did, probably.
We did the first one with no Friday the 13th anywhere near. It was for Halloween. It was October,
Halloween,
so it was still okay. It made sense. But we made a statement during that episode. We were like, from now on, we're going to start doing
We're
a
going to try
Friday
and
the 13th.
hit it around Friday the 13th, right?
And we'll start doing each one, right? Again, I even told you at the time, it's probably going to be 5 years before we finish. Friday the 13th aren't that common in a year.
That's right.
But we skipped one and we feel bad. We dropped the ball. And so I specifically told Bo, I was like, one's coming up. If we want to pick up where we dropped the ball, we need to do it now.
We have to.
And so we're going to do Friday. Again, for one of the only times we started at the beginning of a franchise was Friday the 13th. Naturally, we almost, the only other time we've done it, I think we hard thought about making sure we did.
We were like,
right?
no, we have to, because we always fuck this up.
Rocky.
Yeah, it was Rocky.
We always do it wrong.
No, we can't do Rocky 2.
And so for the first time that we did it and we didn't think about it, it just naturally happened that we did the first one. We're going to now do the second. We're going to do Friday the 13th Part 2. And even though that we'll probably rehash this in the next one, I need to go ahead and say it now. Because some of you at home might be like, why is psychopathy the right one?
Because he's a fucking psychopath.
Because as we said in the first when we covered the first one, right? 2's the one that's the outlier.
Yeah.
2's the one where it's the only time we get an adult, non-supernatural Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
This is a guy, the second
he's
movie
just the guy who lived in the woods.
That he survived.
Saw his mom got murdered in the first one, apparently.
Never told her he was alive.
Just kind of lived in the
woods.
But
it's just a crazy dude that's in the woods. If that's not a psycho, if that's not psychopathy.
That's not psychopathy or psychopathy. Yes, there we go.
Either way, I love that you said it. That was good. That was good. That was perfect. Yeah.
The Commodore Perry has got a hold of me there, brother.
Yeah. I feel like, again, it was one of those where, because of what we've already said we feel about the second one, it made total sense.
Complete sense. And I'm looking fucking forward to it.
Yes,
I love fucking Jason.
He's, as we said before, he's my favorite.
Your favorite. Yeah. I can't wait till we find something to do Nightmare on Elm Street, because that was me and my sisters.
If nothing else, dude, Halloween's coming up.
October
is only a few short months away at this point.
Fuck, I gotta renew my license.
We're getting there
in October.
All right.
A lot of stuff happening there.
On that, guys, we are done. Bo, anything you want to hit them with before we're finished?
Like, comment, subscribe, hit all the bells and whistles and all that stuff. And as always, raise your glass to the lesser of two weevils. I'm a self-aware nerd.